Hey everybody, and welcome to Chat with Kat. I'm coming to you today with a really cool message. So I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine this morning. Shout out to Marlon Woodham. And he brought up the topic of my last video about there needing to be more representation in the media for people with disabilities. And he went on to tell me all these different programs that I was unaware of. I'm not much of a Netflix person. The only Netflix show I watch is Cobra Kai because I loved the Karate Kid trilogy, the original one. And so, yeah, that's really the only Netflix show I watch. And I was unaware of these different programs that he mentioned. With that being said, I then spoke to a person named Bill Gregg, who is a man that I know that also lives with spina bifida. I've known him for almost a decade now. We met at the Family Cafe in Orlando many years ago. And he went on to say that the right representation is needed. And I will say that I wholeheartedly agree. Now, this may bother some people, but I, at first viewing of the movie Coda, had a little bit of a problem with the storyline that this girl had this immense talent to sing, and her family, all with that were living within the hard of hearing or deaf community, were trying to hold her back from this because they needed her. And it wasn't till the end of the movie where they realized what a disservice that would be to her, that they then allowed her to move on and go to college and pursue her dream and her talent of being a singer. I had an issue with this because I feel, and this is just my personal opinion, that this paints those of us living with a disability as so needy and so self-centered that we would basically disregard our loved ones' needs or wants in order to fulfill our own. Now, this is not who I am personally. I will say there might have been a time in my past that maybe I did feel that way, but as I've grown and I've matured, I realized how important it is that not only my needs and wants are realized, but that those around me deserve the same respect and the same opportunities to fulfill the life that they would like. So that is what I mean by representing the disability in a better light, because not all of us feel the way that that family felt in the movie Coda. Another example of, in my opinion, a poor representation is a reality show that my sister brought up to me the other day called 90 Day Fiancé. And apparently this guy who is in a wheelchair due to being shot met this girl online and they were going to meet, and long story short, he never disclosed to her that he was in a wheelchair. I guess none of the times that they FaceTime did she see the wheelchair. Maybe, I don't know how that never happened, but she just didn't know, and it showed her having a really hard time adjusting to his needs and so forth. And again, I think that portrays us in a negative light because, number one, that means that on some level we should be ashamed and try to hide who we are and what our day-to-day life is, and that's not everybody's way of dealing with it. I know for me, I'm always very upfront with people that I get interested in or are interested in me, of this is what my day-to-day is like, this is what I've been through in my past as far as my health, this is what I'm currently going through. And it may be seen as oversharing, but I just think it's something important to disclose, so whoever you're trying to build a relationship with, or maybe even build a life with, knows firsthand what that would look like. So that's personally how I do it. And sometimes the person is very receptive of it and they're like, I'm all in. And then other times they're like, hey, this is too much for me. And yeah. And then it just doesn't work out, which is totally fine. I'd rather people be, honest with me about how they feel and whether or not they're up for the task of being with someone like me. And so those are two examples of how I think representation could improve. A way that I think it could improve is not just having actors with disabilities get casted for authenticity purposes, but also have more writers, producers, and directors that have either themselves or someone in their life living with a disability and can have a more authentic point of view and a more authentic voice to be heard. I think that is the most important thing that is truly needed, because it's great that all these actors are getting roles. Shout out to the entire cast of Coda and to Ali Stroker, Ali Stroker, who won the Tony back in 2020. She's amazing. I saw her perform at the Paralympics, and it fills my heart to know that they're getting these opportunities, because there was a time that this would never be happening. But again, I think when you're casting these people, you have to be very aware of how you're representing them. And the only way to truly represent them is to let those of us who have the lived experience have a voice and a say in what the storyline is and how the story is going to play out. So that is truly my opinion, and you don't have to agree with me. I actually, I encourage a debate on this topic, but this is just me speaking solely from my heart. And I just want to leave you with the words of Christopher Reeve, that a true hero is a normal, everyday individual who overcomes obstacles with resilience and perseverance. And not only is he a true testament to that, and I truly believe that he became Superman after his accident, but I think that can be seen in all people with disabilities. So that, to me, is what I would like to see more of. I would like to see true representation of what our struggles look like, not just portray us as needy people that want to hold other people back, but showcase what it is that makes us feel that way, or that maybe scares us to disclose our own disabilities or challenges to people that we're trying to build relationships with. I think that's important to see, is where these people's minds are and why they feel the way that they feel. Break that down instead of just showing the action and making society be like, oh, see, people with disabilities cause all these problems. They can't do anything for themselves. No, show the struggle, show the perseverance, show the resilience, show deep down their feelings and their thoughts, and that's when real change and inclusion will happen. But that will only happen is if people with the lived experience, whether it's their own or a loved one, has a voice in the creative process, which is why I'm so excited to hopefully get my animated series sooner than later, because, or later is fine too. I just want it to happen because I know that I will make sure that my voice is heard in each and every storyline that comes out for children to see, because my work with children has taught me one thing, that if you expose them and you educate them, then their fear and their confusion about disability instantly disappears. And I'm a testament to that because, and I've mentioned this before, I wheel into classrooms all the time and kids are like, oh my God, she's in a wheelchair. And they get so nervous and scared. And when I ask them how that makes them feel, they are very honest that it makes them nervous and scared and feel sorry for me and all these negative things. And then when I read the story, their mind instantly switches to admiration and interest, and they want to know if I'm a superhero. Where's my magic button? Where's this? Where's that? And so that's why representation is so important, because we have it in the palm of our hands to shape the next generation into really seeing disability in a positive light. So that's what I wanted to say, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.